Most people think you need to save a new deposit every single time you want to buy a property. The people who own multiple properties are not saving deposit after deposit. There's a much smarter and effective way to grow your property portfolio. They're using what they already own to fund the next purchase, and that is called using equity. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how that works and how to use equity effectively to grow your investment portfolio. I'm Jyh Kao, property investor, mortgage broker, and founder of JD Capital. I have helped hundreds of clients grow their portfolios using this strategy, and I have done it myself for the past 13 years, growing my own portfolio to over $20 million. The concept is called equity, and if you own a home in Australia right now, there is a good chance you are sitting on more than you realize. So let's break it down. Equity is basically the difference between what your property is worth and how much you still owe on it. For example, if your home is worth $1 million and you owe $500,000, that means you've got $500,000 in equity. Now, banks typically let you borrow up to 80% of your property's value, and they hold the 20% as security. In this case, you could access $300,000 of that equity to fund another property. But here's the catch. Not all equity is usable equity. Most people get this wrong. The bank won't lend you 100% of your property's value. So the usable portion is what's left after they count for the maximum LVR, right? Which is typically 80%. Now, here is something I tell every client. You need two resources to keep buying property: sufficient equity and sufficient borrowing capacity. If you do not have both, you cannot move to the next purchase. And the mistake that most people make is they wait until they are ready to buy before they think about getting equity out. But by then, it's often too late. It is very difficult to pull equity out once your borrowing capacity is already maxed. So JD Capital, one of the things we do is looking at extracting equity early, even before you even need the money, because you never know what might change. Valuations can drop, interest rates can rise like they are today, which means your borrowing capacity also drops. Lending capacities can also tighten overnight. You do not want to be at the bank's mercy when you finally find the right property and you are scrambling to get the equity out in time. I did exactly this as my own property that I bought in 2013, my first one. I did a renovation, got a valuation done, and there was about $70,000 uplift in value. I didn't go out and buy the next property right away. I pulled the equity out, parked in an offset account, and then spent the next 3 to 6 months doing my research, building my team, working out where I was going to buy next, what the plan looked like, and how much funds do I need to look at the purchase price that I'm making. It is like chess. You're always planning a few moves ahead. And the way that we do this at JD Capital, what I call the JD method, is we get valuations from a range of different banks. Every bank has a different policy when it comes to valuations. Bank A might value your property at $600,000. Bank B might say $650,000 and Bank C might say $700,000. That $50,000 to $100,000 difference could be the difference between half and a full deposit on your next property. So we go to the bank with the strongest valuation to get the most equity out. Then we need to model what is your borrowing capacity on the next purchase to make sure you can do that purchase. Once you have equity, that can be the deposit for the next purchase, and it's taken out on a separate loan split against the original property. So to bring it all together, to keep growing a portfolio, you need equity and you need borrowing capacity working together. Pulling your equity out early before you even need it is a really good tip. Get valuations from multiple banks and plan proactively, not reactively. That is a difference between investors who buy one property and investors who keep scaling. If you want to find out how much usable equity you have right now, and whether you are in a position to use it, reach out to us at JD Capital. We'll help you map out a lending strategy for your portfolio. Happy and safe investing. We'll see you guys on the next video.